அடுத்ததாக முனைவர் பாலகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்கள், அவங்க வந்து தேர்தல் ஆணையத்தில் துணை தேர்தல் ஆணையராக 2 முறை பணியாற்றியவர். தேர்தல் ஆணையம் எப்படி இருக்கணும், அங்கே என்ன பிரச்சனைகள் இருக்குதுன்றத அவங்கள்ட்ட இருந்து தேர்ந்தெடுத்துக்கலாம். டாக்டர் பாலகிருஷ்ணன், while in service, he was Deputy Election Commissioner of India for 2 terms. So who knows Election Commission in and out? So what are the threats we are facing because of the functioning of the Election Commission of India? He will be sharing with us. Please come. I requested Advocate Kannadi, who was supposed to be one of the people in the presidium, to be.
Good morning, everybody. First, let me clarify. எனக்கு தமிழ் ரொம்ப நல்லா தெரியும். But I am really in a dilemma. What should be the language of நான் என்ன மொழியில் பேசணுங்கிறது கலந்து பேசணுமா? It's a mixed crowd. We have a very respected speakers who have come from outside the state. I would like them also to understand what we are talking here. I think which way we will go is a mixed one or bilingual or okay. Whenever need, I will resort to Tamil. Otherwise, I will, because my habit is that even one person who does not understand the language, I respect the language which he will understand. So that is how I travel all over the country, conducted elections, even try to speak the local language. Otherwise, I will have a interpreter or something, manage to communicate the person thing. So I would like to respect that. So wherever needed or any punch dialogue is needed, I will resort to Tamil. Now I didn't expect that I would be part of such a meeting. It happened in the last, I think less than a month or twice. I am quite retired 2018 from Indian Administrative Service after 34 years of service. Again, I thought that I would be a full-time writer and researcher. And then again, I was called back and basically was convinced. Without me convinced, nobody can force me. So I was convinced that I have a reason to go back. I went back as a chief advisor to Chief Minister of Orissa and returned back only after 24 election. And then I thought again I'll get into my what I really like, industrial civilization, Sangam literature. That is my genre. I wanted to quietly be there. So some time back I got a call from some of the civil society important personality, been public intellectuals, who thought that we should come out with a statement after a stampede. Then for the first time in my life I put a signature to raise the voice what we feel, because I was a bit sleepless. So I had a feeling that we need to express ourselves. And now often, many times in recent time, I used to think about the Indian elections, what we have done, what we failed to do. And then it's more going to be a experience sharing. Pardon me if I get personal. I will try not to be emotional. And because that is a topic which is, it's not an academic discourse for me. It has been my life, my blood and my sweat. So I'm hoping not to be emotional about the Indian elections, what we feel about it. I may not have a solution, but I hope that I will be able to flag some of the issues which we consider. Italy, there's a famous statement by Balakrishnan Gandhi. He used to be West Bengal governor when I was in charge of West Bengal election. Many times stayed in the Raj Bhavan, had a dinner with him. I have a huge respect for him. He once wrote actually, the world respect India for 3 reasons, according to you. You may agree, may not agree. He said Taj Mahal, number 2 Mahatma Gandhi, 3 India's electoral democracy. These 3 he listed as the world respect you. Any fellow who comes to India, he wants to take a photo with in front of Taj Mahal with his wife. And then Gandhi, Nelson Mandela and everybody think it's a huge political philosophy. Whether you agree with his economics or not, at least as a political strategy. Then electoral democracy. So when Gopalakrishna Gandhi said, you need to understand in a contrasting statement, sometime in 1931, the place is London Constitution Club. I am reading some of things from Tamil Todar serial I wrote, named as a Tamil Nedunjale. Some of my somewhere election related I have shared it. I took a printout last night and I am reading here and there. Then I will come to what I consider that to be. Churchill, he is known for as a bit of India biter. He spoke in the Constitution Club in 1931. According to him, India is not a country at all. He says it's a geographical entity. It is somewhere something like we call it latitude, longitude, or what you call so like that, something like a geographical entity or a kind of a explanation, something called India. Then so many countries within country, language, linguistic, cultural. He said, then when India became an electoral democracy, many editorial, many people in the world, how long it will last. Then everybody felt, then on another side, people felt so happy that India was the largest democracy. I had spoken as a deputy election commissioner addressing the observers, the difference between being a value-based democracy and a volume-based democracy. So volume-based democracy, you're huge. I have so many electors, so many polling stations. It is volume. I have spoken in the election commission podium while addressing the IAS and IPS and IRS officers of this country, the difference between a value-based democracy and volume-based democracy. If you feel very happy that we are the greatest and largest democracy, you are born largest. You are not born as a child. You are born as a very big grown. Because India becoming electoral democracy, it was the largest democracy. There is nothing to really celebrate about it. So we have to talk more. This is what I used to tell from the podium of the election commission when I was there. I will tell few kind of incidents, why I am here, what I feel like talking to you. And a few, for your information, we are talking more about the SIR, BLO. If you want to blame me, blame me. If you want to give me credit, give credit. It doesn't make a difference. I am the man who coined the word and created a character called booth level officer. BLO is a word coined by me. I had a valid, very valid reason to do that because of having studied the Indian electoral role and electoral system. And then at that time I had a discussion with a personality in election commission whom I respect a lot, Mr. Mendiratha. I brought his book. It is there in my car. And he was a judicial advisor for us in the election commission. I got a discussion. He told that BLO is not mentioned anywhere. Anywhere in the, forget about constitution. Constitution does not mention even the word political party. Mr. Prabhakar was mentioning that I think it came, the word political party came into the constitution only through the anti-defection. In the Annex 10 of the thing, and because for the first time, for a negative reason only, the word political party found a mention in the constitution. Otherwise, Indian constitution 15 part 15 does not speak the election commission. Then the executive rules and the RP Act and all came, and it's not a constitutional terminology except in the Anti-Defection Act. Okay, having said that, at that time we studied in Madhya Pradesh. Our sub-collector, one sub-collector grow in IAS, he became the CEO, Chief Electoral Officer. I was the DEC in charge of running the Madhya Pradesh election. We found that in the sub-collectors building, 27 sub-collectors' names still existing as electors. And the person who was the sub-collector is now the Chief Electoral Officer of Uttar Pradesh. So then he had the honor of removing 26 names and through a BLO. And one BLO, and then when I made this presentation, even Mendiratha said, it is not in any act. Then we introduced the BLO, the terminology. I said, we have the Article 324. We are responsible for the free and fair election. BLO is needed. I remember the presentation, PowerPoint presentation I made to the Election Commission. I created three important things. One is BLO, booth level officer. Booth level agent is a terminology coined by me. Booth level agent. Before that, there will be something called polling agent on the day of election. but somebody in charge of that electoral roll, even during the process of electoral roll being made, every political party, see, both the presiding officer, the polling agent is the representative of the candidate. That many people fix up after the candidate name is known, or somebody will hereditarily will be the polling agent in one area, will be holding the previous elections voting list in the hand. Many places they bring the previous. And this particular electoral, the current elections role will be in the district president's house or in the custody of his wife. So we found that many people are coming with the previous elections voter list and tick mark and all. He doesn't have any idea. So we said that the responsibility of the political party has to be created at the time of electoral roll itself. Then I created another character called BLA. And then we consulted the political party. Some political party opposed it. There are organized political party, cadre-based political party. They may have an agent. Then we may not have an agent and all these things. Then after some time, the political party got exposed. Those who are having total number of polling stations this many and not having BLA this many, it came to the public forum. People started, you are not having a fellow to be your BLA. That means, are you a political party? So that we wanted that ridicule in public so that people understand where they stand. So that BLA became a reality. Third one I suggested at that time was BVO, booth level officer from the government system, booth level agent from the political party, booth level volunteer, BLV. This I wanted from the civil society. Maybe a retired military man, army man, because I have seen often a Tamil cinema movie. A good reforms comes from the military guy returned back to his Maharajah movie, and I have seen it. So he is a little outsider kind of feeling that he will come with a reform from Kashmir and all. So maybe a retired army fellow or a retired teacher or the retired government servant or a retired officer or somebody teacher like that. A little conscious and civil society representative, and that people also, a group of people, and who will be basically, then there was people opposed that. So somebody may be planted, political party may plant a volunteer may be intimidated, all these things, all the three we tried, and then I could convince successfully BLO, I wrote the manual. BLA now became a reality, many political parties appointing. BLV, there was a lot of doubt. Rotary Club member, will he take a stand? Lions Club member, will he take a stand? Or the teacher, he is already in politics. Okay, like that, and a lot of people created a confusion. So right now, BLO and BLA is I coined, I wrote, good or bad, in a way I contributed to that. Now, I want to say a few experiences where the slide started. Mr. Prabhakar, when we talk about that, he brought out a lot of issues connected to the institutions. See, death of the individuals, any system can easily get over. People say after Gandhi, the country will not exist. After Nehru, nothing will exist. But then people come and go, individuals. But when the institutions die, it's very difficult to rebuild. I'm telling you, institution, death of the institution, it's a cause for a mourning, collective mourning. It's a collective distress. And that is, we are seeing that how this decline is not, I'm telling you, I have not come here to put any blame. I will not take names. I am very conscious, not because of that I had a positions and I am trying to think. No, because I know that this particular rot, how it set in, how it grow, how everybody become complacent, how everybody play a role in it. Will you believe, till 2007, Uttar Pradesh election, when Mayawati was elected, and please go on Google for it, how the 2007 election in India was conducted, what editorials in the front line to all the international, national, particularly national magazines wrote about it. In that particular election was incident free. Will you believe that in many polling stations in India, in Uttar Pradesh, Ruskin Bond will tell, it's a world by itself. Uttar Pradesh ஒரு தனி உலகம். அந்த உலகம் வந்து ரொம்ப வித்தியாசமான உலகம். So then there that particular thing, we had a challenge of conducting the elections in an incident-free elections. We had a zero violence. People could not believe that there can be an election in Uttar Pradesh with zero violence. I am telling you, 2007, 11.34 voters. And then Around that time, when we did the cleaning process, 78 lakh names were removed, 61.69 lakh names were added, 82,000 BLO were in place, 403 constituency, 6,086 were candidates, 10,763 polling station, 4.85 lakh election workers, 65,500 paramilitary, and 25,000 state forces. Electoral violence incident 0. The incident of capturing booth 0. And just please go there and just check for yourself in the Google. And Kallavotu Adavadi Tanangal 0. I call it a dream election, because that is the election where for the first time in many places the people who belong to the oppressed classes in certain parts of Dalit voters, certain parts of the Uttar Pradesh, they said, we have never seen how a polling station will look inside. I am telling you, in many places, and we handled some 67,000 people running the technology, tracked them, and we call a communication for the election tracking. The name was given by my daughter, Comet, because we will be hitting from nowhere, running a huge amount of control room, and we handle their movement and what they do, what they are planning to do, and the result is 0% violence. In Balia district, some observer from Tamil Nadu cadre, he told me, here is a village, people say that from 52, we have not voted even once. Many such villages we located. In this village, I wanted that to be a recorded in the history. It should be unfolded before the country. NDTV contacted me, and they said, can we do a OB van and do it? So they know that what I was planning. Pranay Rai, after 2009 election, she sent me a WhatsApp message, SMS message, 78 crores voters, 780 million salutes to you, Bala sir, he said. That is, then we said, please bring your OB van. And then that in Balia district, I ensured that the people who have not seen the election so far, because the polling station was located inside the house of a Thakur, is an oppressing guy, and the rule says that it should be a public place. If the school is not available, you have to create a temporary set, and the last resort only somebody's house it can be seen. 1952 onwards it was running. And then these people, I wanted them to be taken as if in a barat somebody will be taking. Because India has to wash its sin committed from 1952. I am a writer, I am a poet. There is a poetry always running in my heart. I wanted a poetic justice to that. And we have to wash our sin. I wanted the DM and SP. DM and SP are very big people in Uttar Pradesh. I wanted DM and SP, all the electoral machinery, went to that village and invited them and bring them. It was being live telecast in India. I was having tears in my eyes seeing that. And that day I came back after the event-free, zero violence election in India. I came back to my house in Delhi, in RK Puram, and stood there silently, saluted Subramania Bharati's painting in my home and saluted. I had tears. And my wife used to ask me, why are you getting emotional? Often about it. Often about when you talk about the election. I'll tell the reason for it. Because I am going to be anecdotal. Please forgive me. I have to tell about because we all talk about whether electronic voting machine is reliable. We talk about the machine. And right now, huge technology. Technology needed or not required. It works both ways. Technology needed. But then a knife, how you use it, whether you want to use the cut the apple or the cut the throat, that is in the hands of the person who is using it. So that is the reason, as much as important as machine, it's not that you change the machine, then everything going to be hunky-dory. It's going to be as much important, if not more important, is what is called machinery. The election machinery. If the election machinery is doctored, if it is made to play games, then you can't do anything about it. Let me tell you a few examples about it, how it goes about it. How the election machinery, how you have to resist the temptations. I have every reason to stand here. I have said no to a Padam Sri, which was going to be recommended for my election-related contribution. When the election commissioner called me and told me, Bala, we have decided that we will send your name. If the election commission, being a constitutional authority, if they send their name, who is going to say no? Even they have spoken. But I politely said, sir, let us not do that. Let us not do that. Because the reason being, we had removed a DGP from Punjab during Punjab election. I was convinced he is not going to be neutral. And the argument he made, I am a Padam Sri holder. And the president also appointing election commission, I have been given a Padam Sri by the president. And then how the election commission can remove it? We removed a police officer here in Tamil Nadu. And he went to the Supreme Court, argued that I am a meritorious officer. And then at that time, I told the commission, Vendiratha was there, we will write to the government of India, serving officers not to be given. They are doing the duty. They are getting paid. We are all doing our job. Why the hell I will be given that kind of award by anybody? Let us do that. So I composed that letter and we sent it. At that time, was not acted upon. I pointed out that the letter we wrote, then they said, Bala, we wrote a letter, but that has not been accepted. As on today, one can get a Padam Sri, but it is the election commission feels that you deserve it. I said no. Whether government is already acted up or not, we have taken a position and we will not, let us not do it. I had that particular honor to say, because not because of that I don't like it or like that, but I had done some other job in Orissa, in the cyclone, in the handling for hunger, in handling the biggest super cyclone. I could have been given award. But having done my electoral democracy duty, outside somebody may think that these people have been given award and taken over. That particular question. Same thing for the Prime Minister's award for the excellence. The election commissioner CEC called me and had a quarrel with me, shouted at me. I said, as usual, don't say no. Then he entrusted the job to another senior deputy election commissioner. Don't ask Bala, he will always talk like that dialogue. No, you send his name. I refused. I told to that officer, please don't send my name. The logic I gave that the Prime Minister also another MP. We are conducting his election and he is coming to the government. And then if I have to be given award, I should have been given award for my cyclone work. My election, I have done in the finance related work. We have turned around the state in Orissa. We have reduced the death in the cyclone. I should have been awarded. For having done West Bengal election successfully, the chief election commissioner shouted at me that my name should be sent. I ensured that my name not sent. So do you think that I have a right to stand here? I have a right to stand here. Then tell me, can I have some water? Sir, you don't mind I take little more time? Because this is my first. I don't. This also, I would not have come on my own. It's a call. I got a call from Devasarayan sir. I have huge respect for him. He said, Bala, you should come and speak. And otherwise I am not an activist. I am busy with my Indus Valley civilization. I am now president of the International Institute of Tamil Studies as an honorary job I am doing. Yesterday I had the whole day. Today evening I am going to deliver a talk on Sangam literature in Anna Library. I am in my own world. When he called, when there is a call coming time, sometimes you think, should you or should you not? So I said yes, because I felt there is a duty to do it. Let me narrate a few examples where we are standing. I am telling to you, everybody will talk about SIR. I know about the software, who removed from where, how it was located, what argument is being made, and then the BLO, what role, everything will be technology related. I am going to focus on the machinery because that I am more familiar with that. So why the machinery is important, why the appointment of the election commissioners with the recent amendment in the 23 decision, 24 court cases, everything, why that is important, I am trying to come there. That is the reason I am building up this particular narrative. Sometime the Chief Minister of Orissa, he came to politics after the death of his father. And then he became an MP and he was a minister in central government of India. We had a heat wave. I was a collector in Mayurbanj, the largest district. We had a heat wave. More than 1,100 people died in a single day. And he came to review. Then I received him and he got reviewed and we explained what's happening. Before getting into the car, he was very nice. He was so good. He called me nearby, and he, in a very peculiar, this English is still in my mind. I couldn't really make out. He said that, Mr. Balakrishnan, I want you to know that I know you. I said, what is this type of communication? I want you to know that I know you. Then I was looking at it. He explained that my colleagues and friends told that my father, Mr. Biju Patnaik, held you in good respect and good esteem. So that means he was trying to tell me that he knows me. And then after that 1999 cyclone, one collector ran away in a district. I went by a motorcycle and took over charge of the collector of that particular district. And he came as a central minister to review it. At that time, again, he repeated. And then I thanked him, and he went. In 2000 election conducted, he became the chief minister. I had an invite to join his team. But I humbly told, I said, I am not a material. Because I am not a material, we're supposed to be with a CM or somebody should be totally committed to that particular job. But I am a poet, my mind runs in poetry. I will think about Sangam literature, Indus Valley, then I do my job also very well. I am a little bit all-rounder, so I am not a material. So I politely said that I am not supposed to be. Then somebody else went and all this thing. In 2004, and sorry I am taking time, I am going to take time today. And I got a call from Mr. T.S. Krishnamurthy. Suddenly a phone call. It was a holiday, Sunday. And then we are going to have a holy function. He spoke to me in Tamil because he knows that I am a Tamilian. He told me that the election commission has decided to appoint you as the chief electoral officer of Orissa. The election has been announced about 5 days before. Already election process started. The state is supposed to get ready for the elections 2 months before. First EVM election, first universal EVM election. BBC has already run a cartoon, a documentary interviewing people, everybody, how India will vote with the EVM. And that the place they chose was the Orissa, because Orissa is always come in the news. Because the media has slaughtered some places. In Hyderabad mean IT, Bangalore mean IT, Chennai mean Music Academy, then Orissa mean hunger. So these guys, if somebody is raped near Delhi, then that will be for 2-3 months, it will be in the TV. 5 people raped in some other state, it will not come in the TV, like that. So then they chose rightly the Orissa and telling the people, the tribals, what is this EVM and all. They said, no, we have never seen. So there it's again and again coming in the BBC and all. And that means how these guys are going to run an EVM election. I took charge of the EVM election after the elections are conducted because the chief electoral officer was having a cancer admitted in the Bombay. And then the election commission checked with the home ministry, will he be able to run the election? They told him that he will take long time to stand on his own legs. So that means forget about running election. After announcement of election, a first EVM election, first simultaneous election after 1971. Orissa is having a simultaneous election for the Parliament and Lok Sabha. I was asked to take over. And then after second call came, I told him back, sir, I may not be a candidate. The reason being, I am not only the SRC, I am also Information and Public Relations Secretary of the state. The one officer whom CM meets every day, I brief him about the media thing and all. How can I be collected for the CEO? He said, no. Everybody said that you will run the election. I was appointed. Election was successfully not only conducted, action taken at many senior IAS officers. Action, petrol money was collected from the Speaker of the Assembly for having used the government vehicle. A camera was fitted outside the house of the same Chief Minister, and he checked up that what is the camera. Balakrishnan as CEO has fixed up who is coming to your house in the government vehicle. All put together, election was a phenomenal election. After election was over, I get a call or invite to join the CMO as a secretary to CM. I was aghast. I have done the election. I have done the CEO election. How can be the CMO? But I never know that the government of Orissa spared my name to run the election only with the condition I cannot be retained by the election commission forever. I have to be given back to the system. And I didn't know. And then I am getting a call from the election commission telling me that we have taken you see your order until further orders. It is not 3 years or 4 years, 10 years. Everybody said you will do a good election. You have done it. You have proved it. Now you are called to go to CMO. We have no objection. You can go. But I told, you may not have an objection, but I do have an objection. The reason being, a man who did a CEO selection and become a secretary to CM, and the common man will think about it. What he will think about the election machinery, that perception I was worried. I refused. I refused. Do you know that where I was selected to go? I was selected by the government of India, Election Commission of India, to be the next Deputy Election Commissioner of India on my promotion. I went to Delhi. 30 state elections, 2 Lok Sabha elections. Forget about Kashmir election and all. Again I am going to the Election Commission for the second time. Second time was the Deputy CEO relaxing all the rules. Because by the time I want to tell you, in 2009, I was diagnosed with a cancer. I am recovering from the cancer, took a lighter assignment. They were telling that the Chief Vigilance Officer in an innocuous post, I came to a petroleum company working there. And then came the Chhattisgarh violence where the V.N. Shukla and other people were killed, some 32 leaders were killed. And then the Election Commission wanted somebody to run the election in the Chhattisgarh and the next general election. And I was asked to come. I said, I am just recovering. I have no home at Delhi. So finally, the election commissioner, the past election commissioner also came and met me. Finally, I went there as the Deputy Election Commissioner second time to deliver an election. Why I am telling this? Now I am reading one more thing. Another kind of model in this country could be, I am reading few, I will not tell names. I have no comment about the individuals. I will not value judge people, but I am telling you, a list I am telling you, 2024 elections over. 2024 elections are over. The person who was holding the post of Chief Electoral Officer became the secretary advisor, the post I was holding, the very next week. The very next week, from CEO office to CMO. Number one. Number two, there was another person who was working at the Deputy Election Commissioner of India, post I was holding, Deputy Election Commissioner of India at Delhi, was waiving all the cooling off condition, the way it was waived for a different reason for me. All the rules were waived and sent back to the Orissa government on a deputation, now appointed as a special secretary at that time to CM office. That means from Election Commission to CM office, from CEO to CM office. Okay, then a particular officer who was conducting the election, from where a person elected, and then the number of difference between the votes announced and then actually counted was the 30% difference. And that officer was promoted next week and now part of the CMO. And then another collector conducted election, joined as a private secretary to a minister in the government of India. And I have 5 such, all in CMO, under the same machinery. Let me tell you, I have resisted. Finally, I went to CMO after retirement, after reviewing recall, and just as a kind of an individual, I went there because my services are required. I feel proud. Ultimately, we have to keep in mind, it is the BLV system, now I am looking. What you are talking, in a way, asking the civil society to be vigilant, is in a way, every booth level, there has to be a kind of a civil society which has to be vigilant. What is at stake actually? It's not A wins or B wins. I entirely agree with him. And because they always think in terms of this time we will win, next time they will win kind of thing. But the stakes are very, very high. And every vote counts. And ultimately, the technology people will be able to tell what all exactly happened. But I must tell that equally important, you have to really make the machinery feel conscious. Even the recent amendment made, where the election commissioners cannot be taken to court or complaint cannot be lodged, they have given lifelong immunity, is absolutely not in order. It is my duty to ensure that I am not suspected. I cannot be given a lifetime immunity. And second thing, appointment of the election commissioner. And then Chief Justice was put in the team. Again, the amendment was made. First, a cabinet secretary was proposed. Then again, the amendment was made. And a minister and then 2 secretaries put together, such a committee has been made. And finally, the opposition leader is there and the third person is not there. There could be a system, leader of opposition or second largest party. Either way, the balance should not be in favor of somebody can choose, and we know it very well. So I have a think that there is something terribly wrong with the manner of appointment of the election commission, and the election commission's duty to ensure that the stakeholders are not suspecting them. It's my duty to ensure that why we are refusing to join as a CMO, because the common man will think that this guy conducted the election, he has joined CMO. I cannot stand that. So that way you have to create a system where there is a demand and supply and push and pull factor. This country, these people, the electors have to demand a clear system, because that is the only way we can survive. India is the only country, first country, before creating a social reform, gave a political right for voting. Australia took lot many years. America took lot many years. India only having a constitution, having the word called social justice. Only constitution word having a social justice. So enough. And I have a feeling that the people have to be energized. The stakeholding has to be felt. BLO is in place. BLA is in place. That is the two stakeholders. The BLA, whatever name you call it, the civil society has to be in place. And I agreed on being requested to come, because I could not have said no. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I know you have a lot more to share. We'll take a video of more things which we should inform the public that we will do it. Thank you very much.